Today we're going to be ranking all the SMGs in Tarkov. What we're starting out with is the MP9. I'm going to put the MP9 in A tier. It shoots 9x19, has a really fast fire rate, and it's really easy to control recoil-wise. So I feel like that just, in general, makes this a very solid SMG. So that's why I'm going to put it in A tier. Next, we have the P90. I'm going to put the P90 up in S tier. There's a lot of customization you can do to it. It shoots 5.7 ammo or SS-190s, SS-193, you know, ammo like that. Makes it very strong and effective. The only downside to the P90 is when you're packing mags mid-raid is very slow, but I do still think the P90 is a very strong and effective SMG. Next, we have the MP5. I think the MP5 is solid. I don't think it's better than the MP9 or another SMG that will come later in the list. So that's why it's going to go B tier. I don't think it's bad. There's other ones that I think are better, including the MP9. So that's why it's going to stay in a B tier. There is some solid customization you can do to it. Next, we have the MP7. I'm going to put the MP7 in S tier. I think it is by far probably the best SMG in the game. It's really strong. There's not a whole lot of customization you have to do to it. Kind of depends on which one you buy. One of them comes with the foregrip. One of them does not. But all you really have to do, suppressor, grip, sight, and then you buy the 40 round mags, 30 rounders if you can't buy the 40 rounders, and then you're good to go. Like, it's really strong, really good, shoots really fast. It's just, in my opinion, the best SMG in the game. Next, we got the UMP45. I think it is really solid, especially if you have the 45 ACP AP. The only thing is you don't get the AP ammo from traders, and it also doesn't have too fast of a fire rate, but it is really cheap. And early wipe, I would say the UMP is really effective using the FMJ ammo. So I'm going to put it in B tier above the MP5 because it is very cost efficient. Next, we have, I believe this is the PP19. I'm going to put this in B tier above the UMP. Shoots 9x19 and is very cost efficient again. Same as the UMP. I think there is just one SMG. I think there's actually two SMGs that shoot 9x19 that's better. And it doesn't really make sense to put it in the same, like A or S tier. So I feel like B is solid for it. Next up, we have the PP Keter. I'm going to put this C tier. I actually kind of like it. The only downside is that it shoots really bad ammo. So the only viable thing to do with it is leg meta people. So that's why it's going to C tier. It doesn't really have the ammo to be able to shoot people's armor, but it is still solid if you do choose to like meta people. Now, the PPSH. I actually like the PPSH. It's kind of a meme gun to run, especially if you're running the drum mags. I think it is fun to run sometimes, though. Unfortunately, I am going to have to do it dirty. I'm going to put a C tier. I was thinking D tier. I'm going to put a C tier. It's solid. You end up having to like meta people, but that's all right. It's, you know, the fire rate makes up for it, and the mag size, if you're running the drum mags, makes up for that as well. Next up, we have the MPX. I'm going to put this in A tier. I actually really like it. I'm kind of debating. I'm going to put it behind the MP9 only because the MP9 is way more cost efficient than the MPX. I think the MPX is still very solid though, and there's a lot more customization you can do to it. So it's going to go A tier. I think A tier is solid. Next, we have I actually don't know what it's called, but it's the 9x21 SMG. I haven't actually used this all that much myself. The little bit that I have used it, it is pretty solid. I'm gonna put it A tier. I don't have too strong of a opinion about it. I do think it's solid. I'd have to use it more, but I do think it's solid from the little bit that I have used it. So the Sega 9 is just the semi-auto PP19. I'm gonna put D tier. Any semi-auto SMG I think is just automatically really bad, so that's why it's gonna go D tier. Next, we have the STM9. Same thing as the Sega 9 semi-auto. I think you're better off using any of the full auto 9x19 SMGs. Like if you're trying to run like a quote-unquote meta gun, these are not the guns you're looking for. Next, we have the 9mm Vector. I'm going to put this in S tier. Now, that might be a hot take, but it has a really fast fire rate. It has the 50 round mags, a lot of customization to it. It is probably one of my favorite SMGs to run. I don't think it's better than the MP7 or the P90, but I do think it is S tier. And last but not least, the 45 Vector. I think it is better than if you're running the AP rounds, I think it's better than the 9x19 Vector. No, maybe a little bit of a hot take. The only downside to it is that you have it's like the 45 rounds or the 43 round mags, whatever it is. That's the only downside to the 45 Vector. You don't get the 50 rounders that the 9x19 has. But anyways, that is my SMG tier list for Escape from Tarkov. Let me know what you guys think, what you would have done differently, if you agree, if you don't agree. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and good luck in your Tarkov raids.